Welcome to a brand new Masterclass Explainer. Step inside, wipe down your benches, and get ready, because today we are running a high-stakes, uncompromising grade makeover kitchen audit. I am your master auditor, and in this kitchen, we do not tolerate sloppy paragraph structures, weak logic strings, or missed command words. Today, we are taking on an absolute beast of a recipe. We are dissecting Cambridge-AS and A-level mathematics, specifically Syllabus Code 9709, Section 5.2, Permutations and Combinations. More specifically, we are zeroing in on selections. Let me make this crystal clear right now. Mastering this specific section is completely 100% non-negotiable. Why? Because this ingredient is heavily featured in every single examination series across the board. You literally cannot hide from it. To help us break this down, imagine we are working in a split-screen digital kitchen workshop. Over on the left, we've got the raw essay text, the actual student responses highlighted in a harsh, glaring red whenever there's a critical defect. And on the right, we have the Michelin dashboard. This dashboard is live tracking our assessment objectives, AO1, AO2, and AO3, with numeric dials that spin based on the quality of the mathematical logic we are serving up. And to really illustrate where things go wrong, let me introduce you to the two hypothetical apprentices working the line with us today. First, we have Alex. Now, Alex is a cook who chronically overcomplicates the recipe. Alex loves dumping massive piles of raw, unanalyzed factual definitions and factorial formulas into the text without ever cooking them down into clear arguments. And then we have Sam. Sam is our fast cook. Sam rushes the preparation steps, creates beautiful sentence presentation, but completely forgets to include the core ingredients demanded by the actual question. We are going to use their mistakes to transform your final grades. Let's get cooking. Listen to me closely, because this examiner alert is the most crucial piece of advice you will hear all day. Students lose marks by not showing working. Even if your final answer is wrong, method marks can save you. So, the crucial point is this. When you are sweating under the fluorescent lights of the exam hall, staring down a high-tariff, multi-part permutations problem, your step-by-step process is your ultimate exam safety net. Think about a messy, chaotic kitchen. If a chef tosses raw ingredients haphazardly onto a plate, even if it technically resembles a meal, it tastes sour. It's a disaster. That is exactly what happens when you panic, guess an answer, and scribble down a single, isolated number. If that final number is wrong, bam, you get an absolute 0. You have served the examiner raw chicken. But if you show your logical steps, if you plate the math beautifully and communicate your reasoning, the examiner can step in and reward your mathematical technique. Even if the final garnish is slightly off, those method marks keep you alive. We are going to build that bulletproof safety net together, right here, right now. All right, let's review today's prep list. First, we are looking at the Cambridge exam benchmarks. Second, the procedural methodology. Third, securing method marks. Fourth, critical analysis and evaluation. And finally, the top 3 examiner warnings that will absolutely sink your dish if you aren't paying attention. Section 1, the Cambridge exam benchmarks. Let's talk about the standard. Before you even think about picking up your calculator to solve a complex combinations problem, you need to understand the fundamental academic benchmarks that separate a mediocre cook from a Michelin star candidate. The examiner's palate is highly refined. They are specifically tasting your response for analytical depth versus superficial breadth. Let me show you what I mean by looking at our apprentices. Alex relies entirely on superficial breadth. That means rote learning. Alex memorizes the formula for NCR, throws it onto the page, but has absolutely no connected conceptual understanding of when or why to apply it. It's just disconnected facts scattered on a plate. If the question asks for a committee selection with a weird constraint, Alex freezes. The math is descriptive, flat, and raw. But what examiners are actually craving is analytical depth. They want a perfectly balanced, evaluative argument. They want to see logical, structured reasoning. If you miss a command word in the question prompt, you are cutting out the core seasoning of your essay and you instantly lose 60% of the available mark yield. Analytical depth means you are actively analyzing the relationships in the data before you calculate. You understand the why behind the what. Let's look at the Michelin dashboard dials for our assessment cognitive domains, or AOs. The first dial is knowledge and understanding. This is the bare minimum, knowing the basic rules of selections and factorials. The second dial is application, taking those rules and applying them to a standard, straightforward recipe. But the third dial, the one that unlocks the A stars and the premium culinary grades, is analysis. This is where you prove you can handle the heat. This means looking at a scenario, extracting the hidden constraints, testing different pathways, and formulating a mathematically sound strategy. When all 3 of these dials are maxed out on your Michelin dashboard, your final answer isn't just a number, it's a gourmet logic string. Section 2. The procedural methodology. The exact recipe for success. Now, what's really interesting about this procedural sequence is how entirely unforgiving it is if you skip a step. Let's look at the apprentice recooking debate I witnessed at the workspace earlier. We put a high-tariff past paper question on the board, a complex committee selection where two specific people refused to be seated together. The clock was ticking, strict simulated timeline conditions were in play. Alex immediately started overloading the layout with heavy terminology, screaming, "We need to write down every factorial possibility." But Sam fought back, trying to build a direct analytical logic string to secure the high-tier marking bands before their kitchen timer hit empty. Sam argued, "No, we don't have time, just find the total combinations and subtract the restriction, just write the answer." They were both wrong because they ignored the 5-step procedural methodology. Step 1, identify key elements. You have to extract the specific constraints. Step 2, apply relevant principles. Is order important here? No, it's a selection, so it's combinations, not permutations. Step 3, execute analysis with clear working. Step 4, verify results. Step 5, present an appropriate format. If Alex and Sam had just followed this exact standardized rhythm, their thesis statement, their core mathematical argument would have perfectly matched the examiner's core parameters. Instead, they were running around a burning kitchen. You have to follow the steps. And let me tell you, having the right mathematical answer isn't the whole battle. It's like cooking a perfect steak and then serving it on a dirty napkin. You absolutely must adhere to strict presentation conventions, proper headings, correct terminology, appropriate formats, and clear annotation. If you mean to use NCR notation, write it perfectly. Use your brackets correctly. Annotate your steps so the examiner knows exactly what subgroup you're calculating. A beautifully calculated answer will still hemorrhage easy marks if it's jotted down in a messy, disorganized scrawl in the margins. You are professionals in this kitchen, so present your math professionally. Section 3, securing method marks. Defending your grade. Kitchen freeze. Before we unlock this 5-star paragraph structure to transform your final grades, optimize your revision recipe. Take a second right now to subscribe to Ace the Exams, that's at Ace the Exams, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our weekly grade makeovers, whether you are cooking up results at IGCSE, O-levels, or AS and A-levels. All right, back to the heat. Let's talk about the method mark strategy. The apprentices hit an unexpected structural roadblock mid-calculation, where their evidence links dropped out, leaving the math totally raw. Sam had the right idea about subtracting the restriction, but didn't write down the intermediate steps. If you do this, you are throwing points directly into the trash. Marks are awarded for the process. In a complex problem, like choosing a team from different departments where certain departments must have a majority, there are multiple interconnected stages. I use a structural framework matrix for this. You need to explicitly state your parameters, set up your equation, show the execution, and state the logical conclusion. If you write down each stage clearly, you blend your facts with your evaluation flawlessly. If you make a tiny arithmetic error on the very last line, you still walk away with 90% of the marks. This strategy is your lifeblood. Section 4. Critical analysis and evaluation. To hit the top tier, you must demonstrate evaluative thinking. What does that mean in a quantitative math paper? It means questioning assumptions, considering different perspectives, and justifying decisions with hard evidence. When you read a combinations problem, you are essentially interrogating the text. Are we assuming replacement or no replacement? Are the items distinct or identical? What happens if we consider the opposite scenario, finding the total unrestricted combinations and subtracting the ones that break the rules? This evaluative mindset takes you from just blindly pushing buttons on a calculator to actually orchestrating the logic of the problem. It elevates your response from descriptive to analytical. Let's step into the interactive viewer taste test arena. I am handing control over to you for a live compliance audit challenge. Challenge 1 is the visual ingredient scan. Imagine a complex word problem about forming a 5-person committee from 6 doctors and 4 nurses, but there must be a majority of doctors. You have 60 seconds on the clock. What is the single highest value data trend you need to extract? Boom, time's up. The answer is the word majority. That single constraint dictates that you must calculate multiple separate scenarios: 3 doctors and 2 nurses, 4 doctors and 1 nurse, or 5 doctors and 0 nurses. If you miss majority, the dish is ruined. Challenge 2, spot the poison sentence. Look at this flawed medium-tier logic chain Sam tried to write out earlier. Total ways equals 10 choose 5. Doctors equals 6 choose 3. Multiply them. Where is the poison? It's right there at the end. You don't multiply the total unrestricted ways by the subgroup ways. That logic is totally poisoned because the student failed to deconstruct the information, solve systematically, and evaluate the reasonableness of the answer. If your calculation results in a number larger than the total possible unrestricted combinations, your evaluation step should immediately catch that fatal error. Section 5. Top 3 Examiner Warnings. The most dangerous traps.
We are at the final pass line. Alex and Sam have been rebuilding their responses out loud, line by line, creating a perfectly balanced, high-scoring block of text. As they played up, we are watching their Michelin dashboard meters max out to a perfect 100% score. But to make sure you get there too, you need to navigate the 3 most common student mistakes pulled straight from the principal examiner reports. Warning number 1, forgetting proper format and losing easy marks. Do not rush the plating. Warning number 2, failing to check presentation. If your logic string is completely illegible and chaotic, the examiner cannot and will not award those vital method marks. And warning number 3, providing answers that are not specific to the given context. If the question asks for the number of ways a team can be selected, your logic needs to reflect the team structure, not just a random string of disjointed vectorials.
To ensure you never let these errors into your kitchen, I am giving you a premium memory hack. Create a mnemonic using the first letters of those formatting rules to lock them into your brain. Headings, terminology, formats, annotation. Heat the fire always, whatever phrase works for your brain. The moment you sit down in that exam hall, write that mnemonic at the very top of your paper. It is your ultimate pass line review checklist, forcing you to slow down, control the heat, and review the presentation before you serve it up to the Cambridge examiners. So I am leaving you with this intense, absolute make or break question. Are your method steps clear enough to save you if your final calculation fails? Go back and audit your own past papers tonight. Apply the 3-step ingredient prep of decoding the question, use the heat control formula for your timing, and always use your pass line review checklist. If you found this great makeover kitchen audit valuable, you need to subscribe to Ace the Exams. Click that notification bell for our weekly masterclasses. And right now, drop a comment below sharing exactly which Cambridge subject and level, whether it's IGCSE, O, AS, or A level, you're preparing to conquer next. Keep your knives sharp, keep your logic clear, and I will see you in the next explainer.